Well, good evening and welcome to our craft along. This evening we're going to be actually getting into some stamping together and putting that lovely set of Just Wheels and Wings through its paces that I showcased a couple of weeks ago on Create and Craft. So I'm hoping that a few of you are here. Um, I'm hoping that Grace is with us in yeah, here she goes. Thank you, Grace. So the sound is good, and it looks like we've already got loads of people in the building. Well, isn't that exciting? So we'll give our friends a couple of minutes to join us. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and this usually would be our shack session, but because I'm off to Cornwall tomorrow for a few days for Pat's funeral with Dave, we thought we'd do the craft along this evening so that we can get down the road to the funeral, and I'm sure you understand. So it's been a little bit hectic here, a little bit lastminute.com, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Now, let me ask you this. All these friends that I'm seeing, are they actually, is this real? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Cool, you turned up fast. Yeah, plus tonight's stuff and some more. Hey, Jackie. So I'm hoping that for the craft along, we managed to get your orders out to you in time so that you can craft along a Barbie. But if you can't, or if we didn't manage to get your order out in time, or the Royal Mail didn't do its job properly, then he said something else. You know, can always watch on catch up, can't you? You can always go to our YouTube channel and you can check it out there. So calm. Cup of tea from Dave. Grace is joining us in New York. So big shout out to Grace. Hopefully you're there too. Sound is great, she says. So let's just give our friends a couple of minutes to join us. And my dear Shaka friends, I'm sure you understand entirely why I've swapped to a craft along instead of our general shack evening, and we won't have shack on the shack on Monday morning either, because then we'll be coming back from Cornwall. But I wouldn't miss Pat's funeral or her celebration for the world. You know, that's very important, isn't it? So that's where we're headed for a few days. And Paul and Gilly are going to be holding the fort here and looking after Ragnar and Eric for us, which is very good of them. Well, now, Paul, he's still in Peterborough at the moment. Crikey, he blew the doors off with Linda Williams' new groovy plates the last couple of days. Amazing, amazing. So I know they're lovely artwork, but the samples, the art samples from the design team, weren't they phenomenal? I don't know if anybody watched, but it was pretty special. So yeah, here we go. And just a couple more minutes, let our friends join us. Oh, we've already got over 100 people in the building. Well, aren't I flattered? And then tomorrow night we'll roll it out at 7 o'clock as if it were live, except it's not. But that's okay too. And then other than that, what was I going to tell you? So the actual shack, that's what I wanted to let you know. Then next Thursday, I have to go up to television. So we won't be able to meet next Thursday, a week today. But I did write back. The shack is back on Monday, the 26th of February. So make a note in your diaries. Monday, 26th of February, 10 a.m. And we will be starting on the letter D, because we did the C for crown, didn't we? Good evening, Beth. Good evening, Ken. Yeah, what a magnificent effort from Mr. Church. And Yanis, they work so hard, those guys, you know. So let me see. And before I forget, while we're waiting for our friends to come in, and I'll probably mention it one more time during the course of the craft along, on Saturday, Paul's staying up in Peterborough. And so on Saturday, he'll be on again on Create and Craft at 7 o'clock in the morning, I know, and 11 o'clock in the morning. And then lovely Deborah Wheeler, she will be on at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock. At 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock with stamps, really nice stamps. So that'll be good. And other than that, I'm full of beans this afternoon because our friend Jane Telford, so I have a permission to tell you, and you probably already maybe know, that her husband was taken very ill and he's very poorly. And so it's been quite a traumatic week for poor Jane and Colin. And Amy, their daughter, you know, they've had a hell of a week, really. And loads of us have been like circling the wagons and really just praying because that was all we could do. Anyway, good news. Jane called me about an hour before, and she told me that there's a marked improvement, a slight improvement. I'm exaggerating, but he's headed in the right direction. Yesterday, I'll be perfectly frank, it was looking very bleak, very, very, very bleak. And good old Colin, Mancunian through and through. Yeah, he's a tough old bugger. He's turned a corner, and you know, lots of prayers and healing energy from all of us here, and you, I'm sure. I reckon that he'll be okay. Is Jane with us? She did say that she'd join us. Hi all. Hi Jane. Yeah. Good. Good to have your company. You're in the right place. We're here to keep you company. Remember? Okay. So what am I doing? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. No, I have. Right. What we're going to do is just Wheels and Wings. Okay. But will you do me a favor and just bear with me this evening? If I'm a little bit not as polished as I usually am, it's because I'm just Wheels and Winging it today. Okay. It has been a week to remember, you know. But there you go. Just Wheels and Wings. Let's just have a look at what we're going to be using this evening and just look at the set. There's a fabulous collection being released 1 month at a time, and then in between, I thought we could do a really cool craft along just to get it out of the box, have a look at it, do something with it, play, get some ideas, tricks and tips and that, you know, why not? So let's just have a look at the actual set. Right, just Wheels and Wings. What does it comprise? Well, it comprises a die, and the die that was taken from Linda's great idea with the easy layout, you see? So we're looking at windows, apertures, and of course, these are very, very useful for so many stamps. We just decided to attach different themes to each shape. So month on month, there'll be different shapes coming through. This time it's this one, right, which is the one we're working with today. Now, let me just fast forward because I know that I put the new one in my, so next week, when I get up to Peterborough next week, it's this shape. So you may be familiar with that shape. So this is the one we're using this evening. Next week, we're using this one. And then, tonight and in January, let's say, it was all about the wheels and the wings. Next week, just so you know, so you understand how, you know, this is building up now and the interchangeability. So what we've done is Jazz at work, she's designed loads of lovely little useful stamps that fit into the apertures of those easy layout dies. Okay, so let's have a look. So next week, you're going to love it. Look at all these little flowers. There are so many. Let me see if I know. I'm just going to come up higher like that. So it's easier for me to come up. Look at all the beautiful flowers. Look at that lot. Really, really useful stash of flowers. So that's what's next week. That's February. That's February's one. That's what I mean. That's February's one. And of course, it comes with different infusion papers as well. So the floral ones, while we're here, we might as well have a look at those. You can see the infusion. See how it's really lightly infused. So you've got the layup, which is what we're going to do today. It's there as well. It's there as well. It's very subtle, you know, but it's there if you want it. It doesn't matter if you don't use it, but if you want it, it's there. So tonight we're going to use this and we're going to use that. And then the other thing that was part of the deal is those infusion papers. So with this particular set, we got these lovely tealy brownie ones. And you can see again, you can see the windows infused. See, just set in like that. It's really nice. That's the one we're going to use this evening because I thought it would be nice to just have a look at how to use the die, how to use the paper, make a little card together. It's one that I did on telly, but it doesn't hurt to do it together, okay? So I need that, that and that. But before we actually go to this, how about we take a look at a few pieces of artwork? Shall we have a look at the gallery? Okay. Shall we have a look at what our clever design team's done with our lovely pieces, with our stamps? So let's just have a look then, shall we? And we'll go from there. So you can see here, these are the printed out images there. And what I want to do is just show you some wonderful, there's Jane Telford at her very best. So you can see here, we've got our plane, really cool. Then we've got Jane Telford again, there, VW bus. I used to have a VW bus like that when I was in my 20s, when I lived in Germany. Yeah, Deborah Wheeler, really cool. There he is, real retro, hey? Up and away, Dee Paramore, love it. Happy Father's Day, Sheila Metzeler. I like the way she's used a stencil. Let's just have a little deconstruction exercise here because you might enjoy this. She's used a stencil to create these boxes and then she's doodled around them with a micron pen. This is lovely. Tina Morris. There we go. Very retro. And she's used these doodle dies that I'm in love with. I'm in love with the doodle dies, these ones that give you the little panel. They're so cool. We're going to use those later as well. I thought that would be nice. This is a nice one again, Jane. Very, very bright and beautiful. I like that a lot. Then we've got Sheila Metzeler again. Then we've got Debbie McMullin. And then we've got Tina Morris. Then Deborah Wheeler stamped onto a tea bag. Looks really cool as well, doesn't it? So that's just the stamps, okay? So that's just the stamps as in on their own without the die, if you like. So I thought it'd be interesting to split it up and now show you how you can use the windows in the die. How's this sound? Is this all right? Am I on top of it yet? 178 people, really? Well, I better get my act together then. Nothing like a cup of tea. We had cheese on toast tonight. It's a bit of a scramble. Well, it wasn't scrambled actually, it was cheese on toast. Wow, 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 wow. You know, if you eat too much beforehand, then you want to go to sleep. And if you eat too much after the shat then you can't sleep. So cheese on toast it was. Good old cheddar. Right. So now we're going to have a look at some really nice artwork. Let's have a look. This one is gorgeous, Sonia Goodliff. So what you can see here is so now she's using the die. See, and straight away you've got these boxes. If I could pick this out, right, that is stuck on the back of that. So these are holes, okay, just so you know. These are all holes with inlays. Right, let's look at it from a different angle. Debbie McMullin, right? Here we go. So you can see the infusion, and I really like this. She's used one of our aperture stencils to give it that really cool background. Isn't that superb? Look, then you close that over. Yeah. So very tone in tone. Love that. Linda Spencer. I like this as well. So what she's done, see, she's taken Miri card and she's just cut this section. Very clever. So you've got open areas. Isn't that clever? I know. This is a Debbie McMullin one. This is really cool. So she's taken the die and she's cut it into stamp board. See, and what happens is you get the image, the impression, but it doesn't cut through. And that looks sharp. I know. Extra mature cheddar, Lillian. Yeah, well, actually it was. This is nice as well. Who did this one? Debbie McMullin again. See, so you're using here, she's used the designer card and she's made an aperture. Isn't that lovely with stencils? And yeah, it's really very, very nice indeed. Or you keep it simpler than that. Deborah Wheeler, she's made a panel with the paper and the background layer. And then she's cut out the Harley. And that's a stamp. It looks like it's been cut through, but it's actually one of the stamps on the set. It's really nice. This is a great one. Tina Morris. Love that. Designer paper. That is Dee's paper from one of Dee's packs. Very nice indeed. And she's used that stamp to make the frame. They're good, aren't they? Deborah Wheeler. She's used one of our masks to make the background. I thought we could have a little go at the clouds today. That's lovely. Dee. So she's used... This is interesting because I'm going to show you how to do this. If I hold it right up, you'll see there is actually, these are all stuck down, but they're the infills. It's the positive and the negative, right? So that's something to show you. This is more of an inlay, Sarah Brennan. See, she's used an inlay. So that's actually, she's sandwiched it in there. See, so on that side, she's got the manila, so it's all nice and tidy. Oh, she's a teacher, isn't she? But this is actually inlaid and then covered up. Yeah, that's how she's held it in place. I'll show you that one as well. And this is Sheila again, Mondrian. Yeah, very, very Mondrian-esque, right? I love it. And of course, this one, it really shows you how versatile. You could literally use just color, or you could put anything in these boxes, you know. And when you think about the one that we're going to be showcasing next Friday with the flowers, now take the flowers and pop them in here. Boom. You know, really lovely. And also, calling all Parchers, even if you put parchment in the background, this is so perfect for Parchers because you've got your openings and these little bits, right? You take the Mondrian out of here. This is perfect for the poppets, for flowers, parchment, designer parchment, absolutely glorious in the background. Just saying. So let's have a look. We've taken a look at those that artwork now. Just bear with me a second because I don't want to mess this up because we've got to leave early in the morning and I don't want to leave this for 4 days. I've got to tidy it up this evening. So I thought I'll tidy as I go because there's nothing worse, you know, than leaving the kitchen sink full of dishes and then going on holiday because you know exactly what you're going to walk back into, don't you? Yes, you do. Right, Gracie, are you still around? Or has your internet gone off? Come on, love, I know you're there. Talk to me. So there are a couple of other stamp sets I want to show you that we also thought were really nice for this particular. So we've got the sailing set and the gentleman's set. So that's available if you fancy that. They're really nice. So if you see any pieces of artwork coming through with ships and anglers and fishing, and this is really, really nice. Ha ha, I'm here, mother, she said. And then we've also got, I'm mindful of the time a little bit. We've also got these wee ones. We really went for it with the guys. These are superb. Look, it's better to show you the prints. So you've got the wheels, you've got tandem, all these little bikes. They're the same as the other ones, but small and silhouettes. Very, very cool. Small silhouettes, ideal. Okay, no colouring required. So, for example, like that. See, as opposed to like that. So there's the same image, silhouette, standard. Yeah, just so you know. Look, these are so cool. Love it. Who did that one? I really like this artwork. And you know that these are the bits that got cut out. Linda Spencer. These are the pieces. They make superb. Look, I've got a little stash of them here as well. When you cut them out of the layout plate, right? Look, see that bit's that bit, that bit's that bit, that bit's that bit. See what I mean? That bit's that bit. It's very clever. And you just hang on to these bits because they're so neat for stamping into and then using as a, you know, as a thingamajiggy, a topper. That's the word. Do you know, I've chipped my tooth at the back. They're like, what is she on now? I've chipped my tooth, and it's like a razor. It's like having a razor in the back of my. And when can I get an appointment? Next Tuesday. So I can feel my tongue, and the tongue has a brain at the end of it. The tongue will not leave the razor alone. It just has to go and have a little, you know, it's like, leave it alone. And the tongue goes, no. So I'm having a little moment. I'm having a battle with my tongue at the moment because it keeps going back down to the razor. I know. Life ain't easy sometimes. Okay, so let me just make sure that I put these in the right pile. Oh, I've already messed it up. No. And maybe later, when I lose my way here, maybe I could just go back to these. This is the Get Out card here. This is the gallery. Dun, 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 dun. When I start singing, you know, I can't remember what I'm doing. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Right. Okay. Back to the project. Are you ready? 20 minutes in and we haven't even started, they said. Now, ask me if I care. Ask me if I'm worried about that. With everything else that's going on this week, do you think I'm concerned that we're 20 minutes in and I'm still waffling? Am I bothered? Grace said. B-O-V-A-D. Bothered. Am I bothered? Face bothered. Right, come on. Stop larking about, Gray. Now it's serious. Now it's serious. So let me just work out what we're doing. Dun, 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 dun. I don't need that because I've got my own stamps. I have my own stamps, right? I want to show you. So this one here, right, is nice. I'll show you. So what I've done, and this is what we're going to do together. I've got a couple of other little tricks I want to show you. Don't say, oh, she did that one. I'll tell you, yeah, she did. That's why it's here. Don't start, okay? She's not in the mood. Okay. My shack friends understand. You know what? Black on black is really not good, is it? There we are. Okay, so let me show you something. I've taken the 7x7. I've cut it out. There is an additional challenge here, friends. I'll show you in a minute. I've cut it out. So I've got that. And then I've taken that bit of paper, that lovely piece of paper from this bit. See, it's funny because I know that it's just the shackers in here. It's just us lot. I'm not worried. If I thought it was like the anonymous audience coming in for the free tutorial, I'd get really nervous. But it's okay. It's just us. Right, watch. So we've got this, and then we're going to line this up. See, long strip here, long strip there. So we're going to work out how to put that in place, and then we'll stamp our bits in there, and then I'll show you how to get this lovely whiteness and brownness going, this lovely sepia. And then I thought we'd have a look at the clouds. There's loads of stuff in here. And seriously, folks, when I was on the telly doing this, I didn't have time. I was scrambling. I know I was. And I thought, I really want to show this more carefully. you know, because it goes so fast that I think it's more important to just step back and say, right, well, they've spent all that money on this tackle. Let's stop and have a proper look at what we can do with it and how it works. Now, let me show you something else. So on this particular one, right, I've taken this and it's on the inside, yeah? But let's pretend, let's go back this way. Let's pretend, just for the hell of it, let's pretend that's the front of the card. Right, that's the front of the card. We've stuck it down. We've got that. Now what we've done, we've taken, this is so cool, ready? So I've taken the same die. I've taken this die. Hang on, let me just take this off here. Right, I've taken that die. Let me take the sellotape off there as well. Boys. Right, and I've cut it like that, right? But then, and this is where it gets good for me personally, right? I've taken one of these, and these are to me, these are brilliant, right? So, whether I take the chevron, whether I take, these are the nested square. I don't know who thought the names up there. This is like a right mouthful. Nested square, chevron doodle, frame its frames and panels, right? So these are so cool. Like let me take this now, like that. Oh, that one's, I've got a spare. Right, let me show you. If I take that, put that back in there. Right. If I take one of these, like that one there, let's just say, just for the hell of it, I'll take that one. Oh, come on, off. This is where it gets, I just think these are amazing, right? I'll take that one. So it's a chevron one, but it's the same thing. If I cut this one out like this, right? Let's pretend we've got a couple of people that they're not die cutting experts, like myself, right? If I take that one, I cut this out, and it's called an aperture die. It literally, it leaves the hole in there. If I take that same die like that, but I put this one on the outside of it like that, right, and cut it out, then I get this. I don't get the hole. I get this edge cuts it out. So now it's a whole different ball of wax. So, and this is going to be the same with all of these dies. All of the dies will sit inside these. It's exciting, right? So let's say, for example, this is now the front of the card. I've taken a 7x7. Don't pretend that's not a hole. I've put the card on the front, and then I've cut both dies out at the same time, because I know loads of you have got the doodle die. So check it out. Look how sharp that looked. That now on the front of the card. So you've got the one. I love the one with the film strip. That's really cool. I got carried away. Like I was practicing with my new machine. Look, that one, I like that one as well. That reminds me of, what do we actually call that one? It reminds me of in film stars sit in front of the mirrors and they have the mirror, the lights on around the mirror. What have we called it? That's lattice film strip. That's the square one. What have we called this one? Oh, dots. Okay, dots. Well, hello, dots. This is a good one too. So we've got the chevron, which is that one. We've got, that's the other thing is, if you take two together, you get this as well. So in other words, if I were to take from the chevrons now, if I were to cut out that one, I get a panel, don't I? If I cut this one out with the next one in, I get a strip. So that those two together like that, right? Then this will be a floppy bit. I'll show you in a minute. We'll do that in more detail in a minute. I'm just explaining how you can change the inside of the card to the outside of the card just by, look, doesn't that look sharp? So let me just put that one to one side, and then I'll show you a couple of, I had a couple of different ones to do. That one, that's that one. I did the manila because I thought, although it won't work very well, I don't know though, tone in tone, I quite like that as well. See, tone in tone looks very classy, doesn't it? Very classy. So the first thing we've got to decide is, are we working on the front of the card, right? Or are we working on the inside? Either way, the infusion helps you. You just got to make sure that when you cut it out, that you're actually stamping the right way around. Although they're so faded, look, even if you did it the wrong way around, it just looks like more interesting. But, you know, let's use it the right way around, shall we? Okay, so I hope that you understand what I'm on about now, right? So we've got that. Yes, that's it. That's what we're going to do. So the first thing we want to do, first thing we want to do is take a 7x7 card and cut the die out like this. Okay, so we need a 7x7 card blank. Have you got one of those handy? Have you? Come on, let's do this. I'm not going to fast forward. I'm going to do it. And I'll tell you for why I'm going to do it, because I've got a new machine. I've actually got a new Kit and Caboodle machine. I've retired my Gemini. And I love the Gemini. Always love the Gemini. Swear by the Gemini. Okay. But I've got to try the Kit and Caboodle for the plates. The only thing I always found with the Gemini was the plates bowed so much. So, you know, you're replacing the plates quite a lot. My Gemini plates were really bowed, and we've got this brand new project coming up, and I need flat plates for the project. I do. It's a different medium. I need flat plates. Okay, so the thing is that the Gemini has a different plate sequence to the Kit and Caboodle. So I had to, in the hour before we went live, I was teaching myself how to use this thing. And it's really easy. It's really impressive. Just had to do a little bit of thinking. You know, when you use the same thing for many, many years, it's like having, you know, in the kitchen, you've got something that, you know, a pressure cooker, and you use it for 20 years and then it breaks and you need a new one. And then it's a different ball game, isn't it? So it's similar to that. Right, so first things first, what we need is a card blank. Bear with, as Leonie would say. I know I've got them here. Yes, she does. Right, 7x7 card blank. And then what I'm going to do is go through the plate sequence. Let me put that over there for a minute, because it was a little bit different. Hands up those of you who aren't die cutting experts. Right, that's several of us, isn't it? So what I need, right, is I need that die. So I'm going to use this die. I'll put this on here like that. I'm going to use this die, and I need, this is the thing I like about the Pro Cut. It's got a little book, and the little book tells me which plate combination I need. I like that. And am I pitching this? Yeah, I am. I'm showing you. I mean, on Create and Craft, Dawn Wheeler, she's the queen of how to use this. You know, I'm not, but I need to figure it out for myself. And sometimes it's like the bus driver. When the bus driver is only a couple of stops ahead of you, it makes it easier for you to kind of grasp how it works. So forgive me, all you seasoned die cutting experts. I'm not one. I'm talking to the people who are like me, sitting on the fence like, do I want a Kit and Caboodle? If you're going to get a die cutting machine, I do think this one's pretty good for the price, you know. So let me show you the plate sequence that I worked out for myself based on this. Okay, so what I did, I'm going to pan out a little bit just so that you can see it. Right, so you see it comes with, it's got a 5 mm, see this, it says 5 mm on here. You see me in there. Look, hello. Right. It says 5 mil. Don't look at me. Look at the little 5 mil. So the thick one goes on the base, and then look, I even tested out a really look. I tried a really thin. This is me, and then I had to stop what I was doing. Yeah, I took one of our most detailed dies. I've forgotten it was in here actually. I just wanted to, when you're putting something through its paces, you don't give it the easy job, you give it the hard job, don't you? So I gave it this really, really detailed die. Yeah. So I'm saying that it works like a charm. It's thick card. Yeah. Okay. I know I'm going off piste here. I've forgotten that I put this in there. Right. But you can see that this comes out really easily. Okay. It's thick card. It's a super detailed die. Right. So now I know that my sequence works. It's really lovely. I won't waste time fishing this now. I think you get it. Right. But I will waste time doing our die. So I'll put that to one side. I'll sort that. It's a lovely die. I think this one's called Floral Flourish. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've got Floral Forest and Floral Flourish. And this is Floral Forest. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. I've completely spaced. I've left that in the machine. Da, 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 da. Right. 5 mil. Okay. And then next thing, I'm going to put a poly bag in. Yeah, let's just use the same poly bag. It protects your thing from getting little black bits in there because I'm using black card. Right. So now, according to this, see, it says here you put the 3 mil at the bottom, but I had to go back to front. I'm going this way. So I'm putting the 5 mil on the bottom, then the cardstock. Okay, I'll do that. Cardstock. So the cardstock next, right? That'll do. Cardstock, 7x7, like it. It's going to be a side opening one. So let's have a look now. So it says, right, 5 mil, cardstock. Yeah, okay. Then the next thing is the die facing down. Happy with that. Is this how you do it as well? See, and then magnetic shim. Right, magnetic shim next. So I've got choices. I could either take a bit of low tack tape and do that, or I take my what's it called? Magnetic shim. Right, I just hold it in place while I do this because I can feel the magnetic shims moving it. See? So this is where I've got to kind of work out. I'm sure that's why they do it the other way around. Don't say a word, all right? Paul said to me, this is the only challenge. Right, so I know what to do then. I take a bit of low tack. Let's hold that in place, right? Because that's what I thought. How can I use a magnetic shim? It's going to... So we do that. It's all right. It's going to work. So we'll do that like that. Then I'll take my magnetic shim. Is one side less magnetic than the other, maybe? Right. Yeah. That's definitely less magnetic. Okay. Well, it's a learning. Every day's a learning curve. So we put that one down like that. So it's not as magnetic. So we don't want that. Right. Back to the book. What have we got here? Has everyone given up on me yet? 3 mil next. Right. See, the other thing about me is I'm rubbish at following recipes. For someone in my position, you'd think I'd be better at following instructions than I am, but I ain't. Right, so now we're going to put this through the machine. Switch it on. Calm. I think it worked. Have I cut through the magnet? Oh, no, I don't say I've done that. Dun, 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 dun. It's all right. This is where Dean would say it's called presentertainment. There you go. Work like a treat. So you can take your bits of low tack tape off as well. Right. Okay. See, I love. I have to say the Kit Caboodle is pretty good, you know. Look, cuts like butter, doesn't it? Like butter. And see that little line there? I know also on the machine, it's got the same as the Gemini. If you don't want that, you just stop it halfway and then it reverses it. So, but that's for another day. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. It's only a bit of card. Right, so we've got that. That'll do. And then, right, if I wanted to, I've got choices. With the doodle die, I can either run them together or run them separately. I found running them together much easier because you just have to take them together so they don't shift. Otherwise, it's easy. If we get time, we'll do that as well. But there you go. That's me putting the Kit and Caboodle through its paces. I'm happy with that. I've worked out how to do a cut, a cool cut. Right, that'll do. Okay, so I've got me outside ready to go. And now, friends, we can start the stamping. So put the die to one side. Let's have a look at this. Next thing is the paper. So I've picked my paper. Have you got your paper? I'm going to use this one. Yeah, that's going to go just like so, like that. Don't worry about the outside. We can sort that out afterwards, right? Let's get the stamps sorted out. So now we need to decide which stamps we're going to use. I'm going to get my stamps, and I've got a selection of mounts to the side as well. I've got stamps, and I'm going to decide which images I'm going to put into which. It will happen quite quickly when I finally get going, but let's just take a look at what we're doing. We can use that one. I'm going definitely, I'm definitely going up and away. Okay, so that one fits in there nicely. See, you could, if you wanted to, you could put that one in there and then put the message in there. You can do what you like, but I'm gonna put that one in there and that one in there. Then I'll take the up and away, and I think I'll pop that in there like that. I'm going to take the happy birthday. I'm going to pop that one in there because it sits in there just like a charm. And then I'm going to put the helicopter in there like so. And then the Zeppelin, I'm going to stick in there. Now, what's up and what's down? That's up and that's down. So that is going to be my layout, if you like. That's what I want it to look like. Okay. So if I take this away now, that one will stick a bit. It's just got to fit exactly like there. Right. Now, let me show you another thing, just in case. If you're using, a piece of paper like this, and let's say you haven't got the infusion on there, so you haven't got this guide for you, or you haven't, or you can't see it very well, or whatever, then all you need to do is cut the die out just out of a single bit like that, and use it as a template. You see, you could just lay that over like that. Don't worry about that one. That one's a monkey. Right, like so. You just hold it exactly where it is, and then you can stamp through, and that will be your guide. You see, if you're not using, and it will sit exactly where you want it to go. Right, let me just check. Yeah, so it's all in the right place, like so. And then if you want, you see, you could take your low tack masking tape and then just hold it in place like this. This is so cool to do. Right, so for the sake of the camera today, right, I'm gonna hold this in place, and then I can stamp into the aperture. Yeah, because I know that when I overlay this, it'll be in the right place, because of course it's the same die. Right, it's not rocket science. I'm not that bright. thing is, though, if I wanted to, I could go with the cars, I could go with the motorbikes, I could turn this whole shooting match that way around. I could put that at the bottom. You know, if for example, the shapes lend themselves better, you know, I might want to put that on that side. Whatever which way I go, I've just got to make sure that the card opens up the right way, if you see what I mean. Okay. Having said that, if you're using this as the front of the card, you can go any which way you want, can't you? Okay, so back to where we were. Around we go. Happy birthday's the trigger. That is the one that is the only one that's going to pose a challenge, if you like. So you've got your black archival ink pad, 12/2 or February number 1. Right, I'm going to go with this one, I think. And can I suggest that you always stamp it first, just to make sure? 1, you season it. 2, you know what kind of pressure you need. Do you know, I've got really bad earache as well. I wonder if the chipped tooth and the razor in the mouth has got anything to do with it. Oh, it's a game. Right, happy birthday. So let's get the happy birthday in and then we'll do the rest. Yeah. Right, here we go. Happy birthday. Let's get happy birthday in first. Right, hold it like that. Let's make sure it's in and then down we go. And hopefully I've hit the spot. I know that I'm going to lift the Zeppelin off in a minute. There you go. Right, that's back in the area. Happy birthday. Perfect positioning. I have to say, Barbara, you nailed that one, girl. Okay. See, I quite like the idea with so many stamps going on and with us going off to Cornwall tomorrow. I quite like the idea of putting the stamps back where they belong when I've used them. If you know what I mean. Right, let's try this one then. Okay. In we go. And stamp. And you know, if you were savvy, you could be making little toppers over here at the same time, couldn't you? Yep. Right. Oh, it's got a life of its own. Right. Pop that one there. I'll tell you what, I can't tell you how relieved I was when Jane called me earlier. I did know how much I was worrying, but oh, what a relief to see that woman's smiling, you know, because there hasn't been much to smile about this week. It was a real relief to see her smiling. Honestly, Colin. Right, now let's have a look. So, actually, let's make another little topper while we're on it. This would be nice. Up and away. When was the last time you were on an aeroplane? Last time I was on an aeroplane, I was coming into the wrong airport. Weren't we, Dave? Yes, darling. And whose fault was it? Mine. Not yours, mine. I have put my hand up to that one. I was the travel agent on the Frankfurt. We flew out of Gatwick, left the car at Gatwick, and then realised as we were coming back, I'd booked the return flight to London Airport, not Gatwick. I know. The shackers know, don't you? Yeah. 160 quid for a taxi, for an Uber, to go from London Airport to Gatwick to pick the car up. I know, idiot. But there you go. It is what it is. Only took a couple of hours out of our day. It really isn't serious, you know. It's just annoying. But I thought the flight was quite cheap for business class. Now I know why. Yeah. Tell you what, though, it was quite nice to get picked up at London Airport by a man in a suit with a little sign that said Barbara Gray on it and a really posh Mercedes limo. I know. I mean, well, I felt quite special, especially since I'd gone to the wrong airport. I felt very special. God, dear, oh dear, oh dear. I know. No, let's have a look. So you can see how easy it is. It's so easy to just stamp your layout, you know. Years ago, there was a kind of card, and several of you will remember this. It was called a grid technique, and you used to have to make the grids with masking tape. It was a real mission. You know, it was a lot of work. The grid technique. It was very popular. Who remembers it? Remember it? It was quite something. Right, so we've got all those lovely little cards, little men's birthday cards, right? You could do you know what? If you have a grandson or grandchildren, this kind of thing with all these little elements, it would be a smashing little game. You could stamp them. Do you ever play that memory game? We used to play memory games where you stamp pairs. So you do like 2 motorbikes and 2 cars and 2 of these and 2 L plates. And then you have, but all the card sizes are the same. So say 2 inches by 2 inches, and you stamp them all up, and you have to colour them all in, or the children do. And then they have to play the memory game where you put them all face down. Hours of fun, and all done with a little stamp set, you know. So that would be quite fun. And the boat one, the one with the ships on it. Where's that one gone? It's here somewhere. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, that one. So that would be fun as well, with the binoculars and it's a very educational thing, really. Right, now let's have a look. We'll hang on to this one because I also like this. We could use that in a minute. But what I want to do now is show you. Let's take this out of the way. All right, so we've got that. We've done that. We've done that. All perfect, all in the right place, and ready to either go on the front or on the inside. It's entirely, isn't it? That's, again, jury's out on that. We can decide that later on. So the next thing we want to do is, let's first of all, let's get the white sorted out. Now that's easy enough, she said. If you've got the white eraser pencil from Faber-Castell, you can get the pink and white one double-ended, or you can get the white one, okay? And then you need, just bear with me a moment, you need the white pencil as well. So what have I got here? Yeah, in the pergoliners, there's a white pencil. There you go, white B pencil. That'll do the job. Okay, so we'll hang on to that. We're going to use those again in a minute. If you haven't got any, they're handy. So we're going to use that. We're going to use that. And then we'll use some grey pencils. You know those polychromos that we sell a set of 12 of them, sort of grey scale. They're really nice. You've got some nice creamy colours and peachy colours in there. Gold, silver, copper. Where's all this ink come from? They're quite nice. So we've got some of those in there as well. So we're going real kind of sepia, pinky grey. You know, that kind of pinky grey. Lovely. Right, so once we've done that, and then I'll show you the third thing. I want to do this first, then I want to do the clouds. So what's interesting is that the white pen, let me show you, the white eraser pencil, it takes out, let me just show you on another one, it takes out the colour. So if I come in a bit tighter, let me show you this. If we want to add a bit of light, let's pretend, just for a change, that the light is coming up from underneath. We always put the light on top, but let's just do it underneath here. Let's take out some colour with that pencil, the eraser pencil. And what's nice is you can go over the actual stamped art. That's pretty magic, isn't it? So you can go over the stamped art and it won't take out the, isn't that cool? So we'll take some out of that wing as well. What's the longest flight you've ever been on? What's the longest flight you've ever been on? Gracie? Oh, Sam Crow's in the building. Bonjour, Sam. What's the longest flight you've ever been on? The longest flight I've ever been on? Well, I've been to Hawaii. That's quite a long way. So 12 hours to San Francisco and then another 4.5 hours to Oahu. That was long. That was far enough. Gracie went to New Zealand in January. Alice, Canada, yeah, the States. So you're looking, depending on with the States, it depends where in the States, isn't it? You can go to Grace. It's about, how long does it take to get to Grace? 6 or 7 hours to New York, and then to get to Mark in San Francisco is about 12 hours, and that's direct. If you get one of them cheap flights with a 5-stop flights, that'll shorten your holiday. But isn't it expensive now? It's a crazy. Flying is such an expensive pastime. Gracie says, I'll be on an airplane soon. We'll be there for your birthday and our Germany trip. There you go. Grace and I thought it would be nice. Oh, you'll be interested to know this. So Grace was born in Nuremberg. God, I really got earache. Grace was born in Nuremberg in south of Germany. And I'm just looking for a yeah, there it is. A sharpener. Yeah, so she was born. I lived in Germany, in Nuremberg, for a long time, and Gracie was born there. But she's never been to Germany, have you, Mrs.? She's never been back to the fatherland. And I thought, well, because we moved to California when she was a poppet, a baby. I mean, really tiny. So she doesn't have any memory of Nuremberg. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful town. She doesn't even realize what a beautiful town she was born in. So I thought, for my 65th in March, I know it's not a special one, but it's any excuse, I said, what about if we go to Nuremberg, just the two of us? Wouldn't that be nice? Road trip. So we could drive, because God knows I've done it enough times. I could do that. Now that trip I could do with my eyes shut. So I thought it would be really nice to go to Nuremberg and then take a little trip down memory lane. Be nice to show Grace where she was born, where her mum lived, where her mum met her dad, and so on and so on. There. See how it's coming together? It's interesting by just taking out the colour. Isn't that super? Well, I think so. Right. Cool. I tell you what, if you're still in the building, my heart feels a lot lighter, dear. I bet yours does as well. Hey? Nuremberg, beautiful. I went there on a school trip. Did you, Ken? What, when you were the teacher or when you were the pupil? That I do want to know. Nuremberg looks beautiful. It really is, Sam. Really wunderschön. And I was there for quite a long time after university. Yeah. See, and the more you do this, the whiter it gets. So you can always, what impresses me is that the ink, the black ink isn't moving. You'd think that I'd be removing it, wouldn't you? Look, but it's quite clever, that. I'm not even going to wonder or ask why. But the black archival ink's not moving. It's dried really quickly, and you can get a really lovely white effect. See, I like that sepia look, and it looks so nice on any of the papers. So if you and you know the tea infusion papers, these, oh lordy, these ones, they're the same. It's the same makeup. So it's very thin collage, really good for tearing up, right? And fantastic. That's how we got the stripes. Do you remember in the shack how we got the stripes, the white stripes in the beach hut? That was with the rubber, with the eraser. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. So once you've done that, yeah, see, so if you want, now you've taken the white out, you can intensify the white if you feel the need with the pencil, right? Because you've taken out all the color, so now you can reinforce the white with a white pencil. Yeah, that's cool as well. I wonder if the white pencil gives you any coverage. Yeah, it does, you know, even on the sepia. So if I wanted to put a bit of white in there, yeah, look, I can. It takes it. That's quite cool to know. Okay, so you've got your eraser, you've got your white pencil. Now the next thing we want to do is add, so we've got highlights and then we got low lights. So with the low lights, we can go greys or we can go brown. So we could go to that brown there, but I had a little play earlier on. I did do a little bit of prep. It wasn't all winging it. I've got that one. See, but you've got lovely colours there now. To fillet the friendly skies, you could go blue and brown always look lovely, don't they? Blue and sepia always look good together. But let's go with the browns. There's another brown. So look, that's it. So what we can do now, we can do a little combination. Let's get our, see what we want to do. We could put a little bit of brown in this area here, like there, see, there. So that will highlight, it's like we're darkening. Yeah, get it? So now, for example, I'll go in here and I'll highlight just a little bit, but you'll see it'll make the plane pop. Look. So the bit that we haven't taken the colour out of, we're going to darken it up even more, like that. There. So now, just on that edge, just slightly, you don't have to go mad, but what it will do is it will make it's highlights and lowlights, contrasts, isn't it? There we are. I mean, what do I know? Have I ever have I ever pretended that I actually know what I'm doing? I'm no expert, and I'm so glad I'm not an expert. You know, I've just done it. I've just played for 30 years and worked with these products for 30 years, and you just, with an inquiring mind, that I do have. I'll give you that. I've got an inquiring mind. But you see how by adding a bit of depth to the top, it makes the bottom really pop. So it really looks now. If I can put a bit in there as well, it really looks like the light is coming up from underneath, doesn't it? There. Right, again, let's go in here a bit. Just get that depth going. We're going the opposite of what you would normally do. Normally, you'd always put the light from the top, wouldn't we? I just thought it'd be interesting to see what it looks like from underneath. Yeah. Oh, look. Looks good, doesn't it? I wonder if we put a bit of... So you can go even brown over the top as well. Right. Brown under there. So we're getting a really good effect going here, aren't we? Hmm? You enjoying this? You happy? Is there anyone here apart from me now? Hey? I know. Well, I mean, all this stuff's still for sale, you know. And next Friday, those floral ones are going to come out. They'll be beautiful. I think what I like is that they're little, really lovely, vintagey kind of retro images. Now let's try something else. Just one more trick. See if we can make it a bit more 3D. Okay, should we try that? Now, see, if you take that plane now, or no, let's take that plane because I haven't got any colour on that at all. If I want to make that plane look a little bit more three-dimensional, then the trick is to go on the outside of the plane, like there, right? If you put a line, like a drop shadow, let's call it a drop shadow, that's what I usually call it, right? So we put a drop shadow around this part, look. So I'm using a really light grey just to give you the place, you know, the placement. So it's round there. This is boring beige. We call it boring beige in the shack, don't we, people? Not boring beige, warm grey too. Okay, warm grey too. Let me just get I need a bit of a chisel, friends. That's it. So now I've got, when I say chisel, I mean it's flatter. So I can get a better drop shadow. See, so I feather it out a little bit. Right. So that's where we're going. Are you keeping up with me here? Should be, because I can't go more slowly than this. There you go. There you go. Right. So you can see that. Let's just do that on here. See, it's too light on there. That's why it won't work. We need a darker one on here. So the darker one, let me show you. If we go in again with the darker one, this time we'll get closer to the edge. Watch this pop, this plane. Pop's probably the wrong word for a plane. Get dimensional. As I get closer to the edge now, look, you'll see just on that bottom edge, it starts to look really as if it's more lifting off the page. Do you see? And the darker you get close to the edge, the more that will work. See? So that's that one there like that, and then this one round like that. So these are, and in fact, if you cut across there, because that's going to be dark as well, isn't it? That makes more sense now, because that's going to be, see? So it's that drop shadow that's really good to do, and it makes your plane really look more dimensional now. It makes it look as if it's off the page a bit better. So let's take a look if this is dark enough. If I can, so I'm going like a generation darker now on this one, right? This is quite, so I'll start with a lighter one just to establish where I'm going, right? So I'll come around there like that. There you go. So this is a little bit darker. Because we're working on sepia, it's got to come in like so. So it's quite forgiving working on this darker paper as well. And the other thing worth pointing out is it's really good quality thin, but it's very strong, and it's really lovely for collage. I've been having a really good time playing. I'm not ready to sort of show you my findings yet. I'm not quite. I want to make it exciting for you. So, and I've got to kind of perfect it a bit better. You know, I just want to show you quite something, but I want to make it so, I've got to get it so it's really cool. And then this is with collage and cutting out and layering up. So I've got to get it so it's really cool and really achievable, right? And then we can deconstruct it together, and then you'll go, God, it's a piece of cake and it's really amazing. And until I can say, or I can hear you say, it's a piece of cake and it's really amazing, I'm not quite there yet. At the moment, it's not a piece of cake and it's not really amazing. But it will be. I can see it already. This week I haven't really had it. I haven't had the head for it, you know. I really wanted to get going on the collage, but my head went big time. And you know what? You just got to go with it, friends, haven't you? See how you get that lovely, the depth. It's good, isn't it? You get that contrast. Now I wonder, I did have a Payne's Grey. There's a Payne's Grey in that set. However, somewhere between here and the Elevision, I've lost my Payne's Grey. Oh no. Armor. But this is a dark one. Let's see if that's dark. It's not quite Payne's Grey though, is it? I'm going to have to go black. Just to get that depth in on that edge. See, Payne's Grey is better than black. But for the sake of the depth, yeah, you get it, don't you? You can really see. And what you're doing with the darkest colour, so we've gone light, medium, dark. So I've gone light grey, darker grey, closer to the line, black. Personally, I would be looking for my Payne's Grey now in that set of 12. It's a really lovely bluey grey colour, but can't find it. Couldn't find it earlier. Still can't find it. But that's okay. It really does not signify, friends. I think that's the thing. When one of your best friend's husband hits the skids like Colin did, right? It's a real leveler, isn't it? It really makes it just right sizes everything. You know, I mean, I've had a real couple of years of that anyway. Nothing's as important as it used to be. You know, I think you just, as you get older, I think you realise, don't you? You know, things that you used to get into a right sling about, a real tizzy about, don't you find as you get older, you just, it's not worth losing any sleep over. Or, you know, I find more and more the older I get, not indifferent. It's not indifferent. It's not that. It's like you just learn not to sweat the small stuff. What's the point? What's the point? It's that, isn't it? It's like, well, it's not going to change a damn thing. So why lose any sleep over it? Right, doesn't that look lovely? I'm really pleased with that. This one looks a bit bland. I think it could do with a few clouds, she said. Moving that over there. Right, up and away. Let me put that stamp away while I decide what we're doing next. Oh, I know. Yes. So we love these. Come on, friends. Tell me you've got these. These are absolutely fantastic. Right, especially this set here, because this one, you've got the castle. So, honestly, hands up who wants to do a craft along with these, because I could spend days just with this little set. You've got the castle, you've got the bunting. Do you know what would be really cool? We could do this. If you haven't got this set, get the set. Oh, my ear. Get the set, and then we'll have a craft along, okay? We'll do it before we'll do it in March. Do it around March time. And we could do a craft along and we could go through each and every one. So we could do I could show you how to use the castle. We could make a picture. We could do one with the clouds. We'll use the moon. We'll use the hills. We'll use the rooftop. And we could literally, and then the mini moons. I could show you, we could have a whole session just on these. Do you know that? Because they are brilliant. For me, this is hour for hour, pound for pound. I don't think you can beat this set. It's just amazing. But what I'm after is the clouds. I'm on the clouds. So these are well loved. They've been on the floor, jam side down. So you can see they've got all the grit and dirt from my floor. But that's all right. I'll clean them. I'll run them under the tap, let them air dry, be as good as gold. But for what I'm doing at the moment, it will do. So what I need to do, though, is I'm going to isolate this area. Happy days, because I've got the infusion, let's call it there, I can see exactly where I want my clouds to be. Do you see? So I only want them in this box. So I'm going to isolate the box like that. And then, so I don't have to go that high up, but there you go. Look. So that's that, and then that's that there, like so. That'd be nice. Right, we're just going to concentrate on this little area here. Petite. and then I'll show you. And I'll tell you what I did do. Oh, she just remembered in time. I'll show you some artwork from some of the girls. Right, Sarah Brennan, clouds. Look, up. Isn't that clever what she's done? See, so she's used the clouds, and you see, so her clouds, let's just say she's made her own clouds. I'm going to show you how to as well, right? So she's used little clouds. She's cut them out herself, right? I think they're really cool ones. But the depth, she's put the darkness going up, right? Just hold that thought. And here's another one. Sarah Brennan, she's in the cloudy mood. Look. So we've got up, up and away, happy birthday, clouds. And you know, she's to do that frame, she just used a low tack tape around the edge. It's exactly the width. This is like a 6 by 6 inch card. And she's used the width of the low tack tape. Look, exactly that to make her border. See? Just if you're wondering. And then we've got another one here, Julie Dunn, excellent. See, this is great as well. And you can see where she's used. So she's gone in with the large ones. Look, see? Or the small ones, like there. Voila! See? So you can see exactly where Julie, look, I love, that's great. Look, you see exactly how she's done it. You just move it around a little bit. See? Look, it's exactly what she's done. All she's done is shuffled it across a little bit. Where she found that one? But you can use both sides as well. See, so on here you've got little, and then you've got large. So it's up to you which one you use. Right. So we've got that. We've got that. I wanted to show you a couple of pieces of artwork, and then I need. So I've got my mask, and then I need. Let's have a look. I would say I'm going to go with, in a minute, I might need that. But to start with, I need my eraser pencil. I'm going that way. I'm going to erase some colour, if you see what I mean. So in order to erase the colour, let's have a look at this so you can see it. Obviously, to do that, I've got to cover up the top bit. So this part is if you wanted to do that bit. But let me show you. If I take this part, so that's the thing, you got both sides, see? This part here, if I take that away now, that's how I take away that's how you take away the colour again. You take the colour out like that. So this is the first thing we'll do is, we'll take the colour out. Then what we'll do is, we'll pop that back in, and then we can add a bit of shadow. You see? So let's take the colour out first, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go, let me just have a look. I'm going to go colour out like that. It's only a tiny little bit, but it's a good learning curve because you could do the whole back of the card like this, right? But we're going to take our white eraser pencil, and then we'll just use, let's have a look, we'll just use our white eraser pencil just to get rid of the colour on that side of the clouds. When you're up in the air, in the aeroplane, you look at isn't it amazing when you break through the clouds and then you get to and then you're on this, it's like, it's quite something. You know, one minute you're looking at London and the Thames meandering through the city, and then the next minute you've broken through this barrier of clouds of cotton wool, and suddenly and it could be really overcast underneath the layer, and then when you break through it, it can be really, really sunny and blue and bright. Don't you find? Quite lovely, actually. There you go. So we've got our, if I take this off, I'm not going to move it though, I just want to show you. See, so I've got my my white working out. It takes a little while. I could use a pencil as well, but I like this. I like this trick. There you go. And when you've done that, then you're going to take the other one, pop that into place like so, right? Because then it's in exactly the right place, like that. And we'll lift that one away. And then, if I wanted to, I could put a little bit of colour in there, couldn't I? A little bit of colour. So let me pop that down, and let me just go and get a bit of colour. What colour? Go on, give us some ideas. What about a grey? I know, I've got my grey ink pad round here. Un momento. That's a little bit dark. That one's quite nice. I like that one. That'll do. What else we got? Oh, you could go blues, couldn't you? It doesn't have to be an archival one either. It could be a really nice oxide or whatever you fancy. I'm going shadow grey. I'm going shadow grey on this one, I think. There we go. How are we doing here? Are we all right? Are we bored yet? What have I got? Let me have a bit of paper. Let me try it out on a piece first. Okay, so it's like a light grey. It's not, right, we're going to use our makeup sponge or our spot-on sponge. Shouldn't call them makeups. Oh, this chair. Maybe it's me. Right, so what we'll do is, you see, you hold it down here and then you flick that way. And what you'll find is you start down low and then up you go, like that. And then if I just have a little look, see? So it really brings out the clouds because it's that highlights and lowlights again. Yeah, that'll do. And then if you want, you can always go back in a minute and you can really, now you've got your guidelines, see? Now you can go in and get rid of, and if my theory serves me well, I wouldn't be able to, I wonder if I could, let me just try something. Don't you do it. Let me just see. If I go through there, is it going to get rid of the, yeah, don't do too much on the grey until it's dry. Right, so we've got that. So then the next thing is we've done that. Then we want the white again, don't we? So let's go to the white again. I'm using the white. Where do I think? How about like that? Like so. Okay. So then we go again with the white. Need to get just get our mask in place like that. And take your time. Don't you find when you're doing artwork, doesn't matter what you're doing, it redirects your thinking, doesn't it? It keeps you focused. Last night I wasn't happy, and you know, just worry really, and it's the powerlessness. It's not being able to help and not being able to do anything, isn't it? And so I went in the garage and I started just fiddling, doing a bit of pottery for a couple of hours, and it's sweet relief. It absolutely is sweet relief. You know, it doesn't even matter what I was doing or what it's going to look like, or it wasn't the object of the exercise. The object of the exercise was the process. The idea was to just switch off that head, you know, switch the head off. That constant whirring. No wonder I've got earache. Right, don't want too much. You can always add it, but you can't take it away. So we're just going to sweep up from quite a long way down on the mask. Do you fancy having a go? Who fancies having a go and having a craft along just on those masks? See? That'll do. You could put a bit more down if you want. You can add a bit more white if you want. You can always take it. You can always add more. Take more white away, and you can always add more greyness to the. There you go. could do with a brush, really. But I think it's going to look quite nice, you know. Don't want it to be too stormy, do we? See, so you can add a little bit, take a little bit more out. You could add a bit of blue if you wanted. Oh, look, get a bit more out of the way. See, get a bit of white going. Let me see what happens if we take the, I think the pink also works, you know. The pink eraser works. It just doesn't take out as much. Yeah, of course it does. That looks quite good, doesn't it? I feel we need one more little, do you feel you need a little tiny bit of black down the bottom? I do. I feel like we need something a bit more down in just in that corner, like so. So that now has got to be like a tiny little bit of white in there, like so. And then it's going to be a little tiny bit of black. That'll do. Yeah. So once again, as always, I realise that crafting, we're so lucky we're crafters. What a blessing that is. You know, if you need to take your mind off what's going on in your life, there's nothing quite like it for that. It should be able to get it on the NHS. That's the truth of it, isn't it? Shall we see what happens now when we take this all away? I wonder if I want to add a little tiny bit of... I mean, and that's the other thing. It's that, don't worry about it if it doesn't come out the way you wanted it to. It's only a bit of paper. And if nothing else, you've enjoyed a half hour of sweet relief. To me, that's what it's all about. Right, so I'll pop that back there. Got that. Put the lid on there. And then we shall have a look, shall we, at what we've got. Right, we'll take that off there. That one next. We'll lift them off in the... That looks quite good, doesn't it? See, if you wanted to make that a little bit darker, just saying, you could, couldn't you? You could just add a little bit more of a shadow around the outside. Let's just see if I can... Hey, should we see if that helps? See if we get a bit more depth. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. Earache. Unpleasant, isn't it? Right. This is quite nice, you know. Have a look. See, I wasn't able to spend this kind of time on this on the telly. Have a look what we've got here. And then we'll take that away. What a lovely little box. Hey, isn't that nice? There you go. Sorted. So, let me see if I bring that up a bit closer. Let's have a look what we've got. There, isn't that pretty? So you can really see how easy that is, hey? So there you go. And it's fine that it takes a little longer, you know, because it's... There you go, that pink's nice from that set of 12 as well. So it's sort of fleshy colour. Well, it depends whose flesh it is, but pinky fleshy colour. There you go. See? Just get a different flash of colour in there. Nice. Yeah. Good. You could add a flash of blue as well, couldn't you? So now we've done that, how are we doing? We all right? No way is it already 8:25, she said, with the razor in her mouth. Wow, that looks great. I think so too, Grace. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your artwork coming through. Flood the old Clarity Worldwide with it, eh? Let's do that. So let me just see, we've done, let's just recap. We've done highlights. We've taken erasers to take the highlight. We've taken the browns and the sepias to inject the low lights. We've used the greys to do a drop shadow. And you can see how it really looks like it's got some depth to it. We could pop this over the top just to see now whether it all fits nicely. It certainly does, doesn't it? So that would look really pretty as the front of a card, agreed? Or you could put it on the inside of the card. It's entirely up to you, right? Personally, I tell you what I love, what I really, really, really love is this, or in black even, right? So you could actually put a drop shadow on there as well. That looks pretty cool. Right, so now that's the front of your card and you've got a bit of brightness going, or just white on its own. See, that looks so classy, doesn't it? Doesn't that look nice? Now let's try the one that I did with the tone in tone one. See what we think about that. See, I like that too. I think that looks lovely. And the nice thing is that we've given ourselves the perfect guide with the, see the box there? It's exactly perfect for that, like that. Isn't that nice? So you've got these possibilities. Like I said, you can take this particular die, and then all you do is you take your doodle die as well and cut them out together. And that's how you get this. It really works a charm. Okay. So, and as far as finishing it up goes, well, if you want to put it on the inside, then you're going to have to cut it down, aren't you? So you'll have to look at it like this. This is a 7x7. Let me just show you how I would cut it back. So you're looking at it like that. So it's exactly there, like that. If you want to put it on the inside now, then you're going to use your pencil to make a little mark here and here, right? So now you know that that's the inside, and then you're going to make a mark where the outside is. So that's where the fold is. Just give yourself a little mark like that. So you know where the inside is and you know where the outside is. You made yourself a little corner, see that? So when you take that away, this is how I would do it anyway. I'm sure there's more intelligent ways of doing it. But that means that when I trim it with my guillotine, I'm going to trim it within that, like a 1/4 of an inch in there, like there, and in here, like that. You see? So you just literally, if that's your outside edge, you just got to come in a little bit, haven't you? So you cut it from there to there to there to there, there to there to there to there. That's if you want to put it on the inside. Actually, that's if you want to put it on the outside too. So that's got to be cut. Where's my guillotine? Oh, let's have a look. Should we just do it? Right, come on. I've given myself the game. So let me just see if I can, let's get this right. So that's got to be like so, like there. I reckon that'll be right. Cut that. And then I'll cut it this way. Right, so I'll cut that one there. I mean, sometimes it's a bit of fiddle, isn't it, when you're cutting it? But that's okay. As long as you leave enough, That's it there, like that. That'll do. And then you've got one more coming in like that. And hopefully it's in the right place after all that. Let's check. Nothing like winging it, Gray. Right, so that now, where did I put that? The one that I cut out. Oh, I did it. You know I did. There it is. That one. So that goes in there. Let me put a bit of white underneath it, like so. Right, so that there sits there, and that sits exactly, look at that, like a charm. See? So that fits in there like so. When I lift this up, let me see if it fits in there. Yes. I might take a little sliver off the top if I was going to sit this on there so that this is bang in the center. So I know I just got to take a little bit off the top. Then that sits on there. Absolutely perfect. Most important thing is that word, that's not hidden, right? So get the word in the right place and everything else will follow. There you go. So now let's have a look where it sits. Yeah, all good. I need to take a bit more off there and a bit more off there, and that will sit on there like a charm. But me personally, I would rather take that as the front, that's the front like that, black card blanks like so, and then take one of these and pop that over there. I think that looks just delightful. So there you go. And are you asking me, I can hear you, how do I stick this on there? Right. I would use this, a quickie glue pen. You've got choices. You can either use Perga glue or a quickie glue pen. And the quickie glue pen is probably the quickest way to do it and the least messy, right? And what I like about the quickie glue pen, let me show you, it's just basic. I know you're thinking, well, we know how to use this. Well, you'd be surprised. As you go through with the quickie glue pen, it's blue, and then it stays. So you go like that, and the slower you go, the more it leaves behind. Okay. So you can go all the way around like that, and it will hold. And you could go back over it again, but it usually stays sticky for quite a long time. And you can see it because it's blue. Okay. But I like these quickie glue pens. I think they're quite good, and they're clean and tidy, and you know, they don't make a mess, and they just, yeah, I just think they're good. And they work very well with this. And if you think you're going if you go too fast, then you won't give the pen enough chance to dispense enough glue. So it's a good idea. And then also, if you want to go right round the outside, that works as well. I mean, do you need to? Not really. I don't think so. But if you feel you do, then go for it. If you feel you haven't got enough down, it's easier to put more down while it's still this way round, jam side up, than if you wait. It should be sticky enough though. Yeah. I think it works really well anyway. And then if we were in the studio, I'd blame it on the air conditioning. I say, oh, sorry, it dried too fast. It's the air conditioning. Right, let's see if this works, shall we? Yeah, I like it. I like it. Right, that'll do. Okay, stick that down like that. And then hope. Right, make sure you got your happy birthday in place. Like that. Yes, sorted. And then down it goes. Like that. And then take it hasn't stuck. It's the air conditioning. Right, let's see. And if it didn't stick, well, you know what? If it didn't stick, it means you can lift it up and go again. Can't you? There you go. Just got to give it a bit of pressure and allow the glue to soak in, and then a couple of minutes to attach itself, and you'll find that it's absolutely fine. There we go. And don't touch it. There you are. See, and then you can stick that on the front of your card and you're away. That'll do. 1.5 hours, friends. I think that'll do for this evening. I've still got to pack. I've got to figure out what I'm wearing on Saturday. Perga glue also works well on small areas. I know, Ken. It really does. It works really well on small areas. Thank you very much. I'm going to call it a day because I really do have earache, and I don't want to go to Cornwall with earache, so I'm going to have to deal with that. So let me think. Is there anything I've forgotten to tell you? Saturday, don't forget, Paul Church, Create and Craft, 7 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock. And then Deborah Wheeler, 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So I think you're all set for a lovely weekend with our friends there. Big cheers. Let's hope and pray that Colin turns the corner and makes a good recovery. Love and healing energy all the way to Manchester, to Jane. And yeah, I hope that you have a good weekend. I'll be taking you with me in spirit to give our darling Pat a good send off and spend some time with her friends and family down in Cornwall. And other than that, I don't think I've forgotten anything, Gracie. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from snowy New York. Is it snowing in New York? I know it was yesterday. Great to have your company. I hope that you enjoyed that. I'll have a little tidy up now, but I think I'll call it a day if you don't mind. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye now. It's not snowing anymore. People are really up for a mask craft along. Are you? Okay, do me a favor. Buy the mask. Buy that set. Gracie, make sure that buy that set, and then I'll have a think about which day. What would be a good day, do you think? Could we use one of the craft evenings? Could we use the Thursday night the shack for a craft along? Go on, say yes, please. Right, sorted. So I'll figure out which Thursday in March the shackers will have a little masking craft along. Okay? Yeah. We'll have to park the alphabet for a week. That's okay. All right? Good. I'll figure it out. Make sure you got the mask. Gracie says, what's the set called? Scenescapes. Oh, my ear. Scenescapes with mini moons. So in here, you have, because there's lots of different ones, it's the castle and the rooftops you're looking for. Castle, rooftops, hills, moons, and clouds. Okie dokie? Let's give it a go. All right. Go easy. Lots of love. Be safe. And yeah, I'll see you on the I did write it down. I'll see you on the 26th of February. Okay. Bye-bye.